Hello everybody and welcome back to talk to all of you again on this fabulous Monday. I'm going to try to keep this video short and sweet today because the people who are living upstairs are currently doing some kind of construction or something, because for the last 4.5 hours it's been bang, 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 zzz, drop stuff, make noise, drive me crazy. But it's okay, they've temporarily stopped for what sounds like the last 2 minutes. So I'm going to see if I can get this video done and all is good. Today we are looking at a replay from PK Soldier, who's playing a Torpitz. This really just has one glorious moment, which we will get to in a little bit. Initially I wanted to do a War Thunder video. Unfortunately I didn't actually realize how War Thunder's replay system kind of worked, and there was like one tiny little update and the replay I want to show you guys would no longer work, so god darn it. Aside from all that, I do apologize for the lack of videos this weekend. I actually had to go out of town to find a new place to rent. Unfortunately, that wasn't as successful. Wasn't able to find a place for me and the girlfriend. Only found a place for her, so I am currently also having to find a new place to live in September, which is going to be interesting to say the least. Hopefully I end up in a place that still, is nice and quiet and I'm able to continue recording stuff, because, when you're recording and there's too much noise around, it really does become a pain in the ass. One actual good piece of news, after about a week, I finally got an update from the ISP that they have finally, and it's not actually them, it's the vendor, they have finally figured out what was wrong with the internet, and they have actually gotten around to fixing it. So at least this video, when I finish it, will be uploaded reasonably quickly. Unfortunately, when I asked them, hey, what actually was wrong, so in the future this happens again, they're like, well, we don't know. Internet service providers, world's most helpful people at times. Anyway, so PK Soldier playing a Torpitz, and of course, this is the Torpitz post buff, and now the Torpitz is one pretty scary ship. I mean, if you thought the Bismarck was really good before, with the secondaries and everything, well, the Torpitz got those secondaries. The difference is that while the Bismarck is better, I think, defensively, having that hydroacoustic surge, the Torpitz, I think, is actually better offensively, as she does have those torpedoes, and it is this offensive ability which is going to play a somewhat big role. So we decide to not really contest this area near the C cap, and we're going to head towards the B cap area. Now I'm actually in this battle as well. I am that Bismarck who is currently getting shot and burned and not having all that much fun. But yeah, we are going to move into an area where I feel like the Bismarck might be a little bit happier, a place where, you're able to get a little bit more close quarters battles, assuming that there are not too many destroyers, which luckily for us, there aren't that many on the enemy team. Generally speaking, if there are too many destroyers as a battleship, I would also kind of avoid B if possible. Just not a very, very good place for big sluggish ships against, well, small things with very, very big explosive underwater hole makers. Alright, so approaching the B cap, and there is smoke, which means there is a destroyer there, so I am in the lead position as the Bismarck, am going to be popping my hydro. I'm also asking the Atlanta near us if he's got radar. PK is behind me in the Torpitz, and of course there we go, there's the hydro picking up that torpedo wave that's coming in, making it pretty easy to evade. Now again, this is why, generally speaking, if there's too many destroyers, you don't have hydro, etc., as a battleship, you kind of don't want to be here. But if you do get in here and there is not that many destroyers, then you begin to have a much better time because, well, see, everything does tend to be quite a bit closer, and the secondary guns on these German battleships can have a field day. That was my AP salvo against that destroyer, and PK gets the close quarters expert kill there. Moving on, and the two Japanese cruisers, well, they are now in trouble because, well, there's two battleships that see them and are shooting at them. So they do what Japanese cruisers normally do, and they turn away. This is actually the fourth time that I've actually said this while recording this, because last couple of times the upstairs guy dropped, I think it was either a hammer on the floor and just causing a ton of background noise. Anyways, those Japanese cruisers torpedoes, well, I'm already getting out of the way, but unfortunately for PK, turned a little bit late, eats two of those torpedoes, but it is really no big issue because now Well, it takes a look around and he sees the Miyoko, the Mogami. Mogami's really low. Miyoko's gonna get a good salvo in right here. Boop. There's the Citadel. Big chunk of damage off. Sees the North Carolina coming in, so he is going to actually turn in and get aggressive. In fact, the large number of enemy ships actually have decided to come into this area. Not really sure why they want to funnel themselves down, unless you have a clear way through. You don't want to usually take these kind of risks. But then again, remember the thing about the Torpitz, she still has those torpedoes, and if you're in an NC, yeah, not a good idea here. There's the torpedoes, out they go. North Carolina's trying to execute a bit of a drive-by here, but it's going to take all 4 torpedoes for 40k damage. Torpitz, again, at this kind of range, not going to get Citadel'd. It can take quite a bit of penetration damage, but is not going to get Citadel and get killed. PK continues to just bully his way through, letting somebody else deal with that North Carolina, which the Atlanta actually does. The Atlanta's still kind of, hiding in the back there, just spamming away HE. Again, kind of what you want to do as a support cruiser, right? You want to be behind there, offering all the support, but, letting somebody else bigger and tougher take all the attention. Enemy Bismarck comes in here again. Not a good place to be against Torpitz. Ate a torpedo. Did actually manage to dodge most of them. Ate some damage there during that drive-by. Eats another torpedo from the Atlanta, and that's the end of that. Very, very, very intense battle at B. Pretty much, if you're playing a Torpitz, it's kind of what you want to do. You want to find a situation where you're at close quarters. You want to get in a situation where you can angle well, and then basically bully your way through things. One thing that I see a lot of Torpitz players do is they try to actually stay off at the distance, and you don't do that in a Torpitz. Torpitz is not meant for that. The weapon set on the Torpitz makes it almost perfect for these closer range brawls, which is really what you want to do. As a Torpitz player, if you're in close quarters, especially now that you have this phenomenal secondary armament, if people decide to rush you, you can still be like, surprise, I still have a torpedo set that I can use to totally ruin your day. So, yeah, anyways, I mean, that was pretty much the battle. We pretty much decided the whole thing there. Had we actually managed to kill one other ship before they even managed to cap the decap, we actually would have outright won here, but unfortunately, their team was all just scurrying off into the distance there. Enemy Ranger in the distance there. PK is going to take a shot at that Ranger, but Ranger, I believe, is going to get killed off by, I believe that would be our Kaga. So yeah, that Ranger, rip him. And then that Cleveland that we were taking shots at earlier, I believe he is still alive. He's trying to come back in, but really at this point in time, there's not really much that he can do because, yeah, all his friends are gone, and Cleveland by himself is really just not going to accomplish all that much. PK's trying to get guns on him, but this is a really bad angle. The Cleveland is moving behind that very... Would that be a small mountain or would that be a small hill? I mean, it's kind of a mountain, I guess. Alright, anyways, Atlanta's engaging that Cleveland. That Ranger is now dead. Enemy team has managed to scrap up a few more points because their battleship did sink one of our cruisers, but it will not be a battle that lasts much longer than this. Anyways, that pretty much is the battle. I mean, I did mention that it was going to be one kind of glorious, kind of short moment, which was awesome. Anyhow, yeah, so I'm just, quickly sort of updating you all. Unfortunately, I'm just going to get this one rendered because I don't trust the upstairs to not go back to doing construction. This was the final result screen, 134,000 damage, 700,000 credits, 6,371 experience. And a bunch of secondary hits, 3 ships sunk, bunch of torpedo hits. So, overall pretty solid damage for a game that, ended relatively quickly. Base experience-wise, if I remember correctly, also quite good, just over 2,000 in a battleship. Oh, one other thing, War Thunder, speaking of which, I started trying realistic battles. And, yeah, hard, but starting to get better at it, but I don't know, it's very different. I mean, at times it feels kind of boring because you're just sitting there doing like nothing for minutes at a time. So, but you know what, maybe I'll have a good one and I'll post that battle for all of you to see. Anyhow, folks, I hope you have yourselves a good one. Take care. I will talk to all of you again soon. And of course, streams are also going to be coming back in the not too distant future. So until then, take care, and I'll see you all next time.